Hello and welcome again to ICEFS, which is Improving Spoken English in the Free State. Now we are going to look at common use of prepositions. Timothy, borrow me your pen. Oh dear, that is in fact incorrect language usage. What the speaker means to say when he says this is, Timothy, please lend your pen to me. Or he could possibly say, Timothy, could I please borrow your pen from you? The rule with which we are dealing here is that you lend to and that you borrow from. To and from are prepositions. What are prepositions? Well, there's no simple definition to that. I refer to them as the little linking words used to clarify the meaning of sentences. If we were to try to construct sentences without prepositions, they would simply make no sense. There are many examples of prepositions, the most common ones being by, with, in, on, at, for, into, down, by, off, but there are many others. Usually, prepositions are used to indicate place, position, time, manner, or reason. The problem with prepositions is that they are always specific to a language, and the only way to learn to use them correctly is that they must become a habit. Language, all languages in fact, are of course sets of habits. English, no more than others. Here are some examples that I have encountered in other languages, and now I'm going to address the Sesotho speakers who are listening to this today. Many years ago, when I was learning how to speak Sesotho, I walked into a shop, and because I wanted to buy some cat food, I asked for dijo ya dikatsi. Of course, you would understand why the shop assistants all packed up laughing at me. I was supposed to have asked for dijo tsedikatsi. The first one, of course, means food of cats, but the second one means food for cats. Oh dear, that was very embarrassing. Another common example of a misused preposition in English would come from an Afrikaans speaker. In Afrikaans, if you want to say, I threw a stone at him, you would say, ek het hom met 'n klip gegooi. Met, of course, translates into English as with. But if in English we were to say, I threw him with a stone, it would be a very incorrect sentence. Another very common error regarding prepositions. I'll try and do it tomorrow. Oops, that's incorrect. It should be, I'll try to do it tomorrow. In this case, a conjunction has been used to replace the preposition, and as a result, the sentence technically is grammatically wrong, even though we can clearly understand the meaning. Prepositions cause a great deal of difference in meaning. For example, I'll take the verb blow. I can say that my hands are wet, so I'm going to blow on them. You would understand that I'm now blowing to dry my hands. But then I can say something such as, the wind is blowing against the window. It's a different preposition, and it gives a completely different meaning to the verb. Then, let's say that the scientist is blowing through a tube. We know that he has a tube in his mouth and he's blowing through it. You can say that the wind is blowing towards the shore. And we'd know that we have an anabatic wind for you geography people out there, but the meaning once again is clear. And then you can say that the wind blew down the dustbin, which often happens at the school where I teach when the strong winds come along. And you know that the dustbin has been blown sideways. But the one use of the word blow, which I never want to hear, is when you say that you are going to blow up the school, because then I will know that you're going to use dynamite or TNT or some such substance to destroy the school. And that would be wrong. But here we have 6 completely different uses of the same verb. The only thing that has changed is the preposition. And while we are looking at prepositions, I'd like to end with a final error which I refer to as the DJ's error. I often hear this when I'm listening to the radio. Now, technically in English, we are not supposed to end a sentence with a preposition. And very often when I listen to OFM, as I am wont to do, I would hear the DJ saying, "Who am I speaking to?" which is, of course, incorrect. It should be, "To whom am I speaking?"